Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show on ET Now, and it's time to talk about what we normally talk about on Wheels Wednesday, which is everything auto. And we bring on board Renuka Kriplani, who's the executive editor at Autocar. Thanks you so much, as always, Renuka, for taking the time. And this is an exciting time for all of us, right? Because there are a lot of cars to talk about, a lot of options available. It's the festive season. What is exciting you? What have you seen lately that has gotten you all pumped?
Well, there have been a load of launches lately, a load of reveals lately. We've seen, I think, one that's created quite a buzz has been the XUV 700 from Mahindra and Mahindra because it was really well priced, especially the five-seater version. Then we're seeing the Tata Punch, which has just been unveiled. That's another compact SUV, which has created quite a buzz. A very stylish car, compact. Still, prices are still to be revealed, but we expect them to be really good. And Tata have said very clearly that they are aiming to be a compact small SUV, which is something we haven't seen for a very long while, and it's sort of a white space in the segment, so that's very interesting as well. Again, SUVs, we've seen the siblings, the Skoda Kushaq and the Volkswagen Taygun being launched. Again, well-priced cars, especially the 1-liter versions, which offer great value, and they've got 1-liter versions for those who want value. They've got 1.5 for the enthusiast that wants really a fun to drive car, and both of them are really nice to drive as well. We've seen those as well. We've seen MG come out with their Aster, another SUV in the segment. Basically, it is the petrol version of their MG ZS EV. And as always, MG have packed it to the gills with features. They've even got an artificial intelligence little robot that sits on the dash, which will answer all your questions sourced from Wikipedia. So very interesting launches there. If we go to the higher end segment of the market, we also see things like the Mercedes S-Class CKD, which is just about to be launched. We did see the S-Class launched recently, but that was a completely built up unit. Now we're going to see the CKD version, so you can expect much better prices because it'll be built in India. Audi launched their super stylish, really hot looking e-tron GT very recently. And, that's a sports car that's an EV, so something very interesting there as well. So yeah, there's lots happening, and these are the ones that have interested me.
Let's talk about a few of them, because I'm sure that a lot of our viewers will be contemplating, will be looking at some of these options, but let's break it up. Let's talk about the XUV 700 first. It's a part of the XUV family, of course, but it's a landmark shift, right? This is an attempt from the Mahindra stables to really up their game and to challenge in the space where there have been a lot of new entrants that have challenged the incumbents, right?
Absolutely. The Mahindra know that there is a lot of competition in the segment, and what they've aimed to do is actually with the pricing straddle a segment below and through theirs as well. So I think the lower end variant is actually priced with the likes of the Volkswagen Taygun and the Skoda Kushaq and stuff like that, and then the prices go all the way to the Seltos, Creta, Safari. So they've straddled quite a large segment with the pricing over there. So I think they intend to compete hard with everything that's out there, and they've packed a lot into it. They're giving you diesel, they're giving you petrol, they're giving you manual, they're giving you auto, they're giving you all-wheel drive variants in diesel and petrol options. And they've packed it with a lot of features like advanced driver assistance systems that have been seen for the first time in that segment as well. So, even the interiors are a huge step above for Mahindra. I mean, we see a single piece screen that you normally see in the likes of Mercedes there for their infotainment and their digital dial display. So a lot of great things in the XUV 700. And having driven them, I can tell you that those engines are really the jewel in the crown. They're absolutely fantastic. It is a very smooth, very nice car to drive. So I think, yeah, they've kind of really gone all out with the XUV 700, and I think the customer is going to be really happy when he drives one.
Another homegrown company that has been making a lot of rapid strides is Tata Motors, and the Punch. I'm quite keen on finding out what makes it stand out, because the SUV space overall obviously is very segmentized, if you can call it that, and there are a lot of sub segments to talk about. But this compact segment really is something to be interested in, right?
Yeah, the compact segment definitely very, very interesting. I mean, manufacturers are very clear. SUV is the flavor. Yeah, every size, every segment, there are customers that want one. And I think after the likes of the Quid and closer still like the Ignis, there have really not been many offerings, and those were also more based off styling to be SUVs. But Tata, wanted to take it a step further, so they've kind of given it a really nice high ground clearance. They've given it a lot of SUV attributes like breakover angles, ramp over angles that allow it to go over a kind of lot of rough terrain. They've even put something called a Traction Pro mode into their AMT version. So Tata are aiming to be really a nice small compact SUV. It should make it very interesting, and they made no bones about claiming during the reveal that it's going to have all the Tata attributes that they are so focused on, like safety. It's based off that Alpha architecture, which we've seen in the Altros, which has got a 5-star safety rating. So you can expect this also to be really highly rated. And of course, Tata cars aim to be spacious and frugal as well. So yes, they're going to give it all the attributes that you expect from a Tata car, and it should be a really, really interesting one. And Tata are looking at getting quite a large number of sales from this product.
What you said about the AI, right, and the robot with the Aster,
Yeah.
it's quite interesting, but it's also not really central to the experience of driving a car. Would you say that could be a clincher? Or would you say there's a lot more to look at, and that the MG will have a lot of competition, considering that it's such a fiercely competitive space?
Oh yeah, that mid-size SUV segment is a real. I mean, actually, every SUV segment has got a lot of offering at this point. But I think MG, what they do right is pack in the features and give it a great value. So I think, yeah, when the Aster prices are really announced, that we can expect it to have great value. And they really pack in a lot of features into their car, and they also offer a lot of space, comfort. I think that's what consumers can expect. And yes, of course, I think everything that's new, when they first had the Hector with the internet inside, customers were really thrilled with it. And they found that when they removed that little label of internet inside, customers walked into the showroom asking whether they could get it retrofitted. So these kind of small things, I think, work in the market, especially maybe in tier 2, tier 3 cities, where something new, something different really brings the customer into the showroom. So I think yes, this little robot will bring customers into the MG showrooms.
Yeah, I guess it definitely gets your foot in the door, right, and get people to talk about it at least. Let's also talk about the Q5 because it's certainly something that a lot of people will be watching very closely. Obviously, very different range from what we're talking about, but what stands out?
So, the Q5, I think, interestingly so, a good one to look forward to, because it hasn't been available for a while, because just before the pandemic, obviously they wanted to run out the stocks. And then the pandemic broke, so the facelift was a little delayed, and the Q5 hasn't been available for a very long time. So it is a very, very popular car that we see many of. And I think customers, in that segment really appreciate the car. So I think, yes, this facelift version should be something to look forward to. It's not a big change, but yeah, it's got new offerings, new features. So I think customers should be quite happy to receive the Q5, which we'll be seeing, I think, towards the end of September somewhere.
Now, one of the other aspects, Renuka, that I think a lot of people will be very focused on will be availability of products, because we've been looking at the auto industry for the last several months, and a lot of people have cut production based on the semiconductor crisis. There have been reports that said that discounts are not necessarily as high as they have been in past years for obvious reasons, because of the supply demand dynamics that are currently at place. What should a buyer, potential buyer heading into the festive season, bear in mind? Where are there discounts? Are there still discounts to be had?
There are discounts. I think in the very popular segments and in the very popular models, they may not be as much as one would get earlier in festive seasons, because there are already a lot of back orders. So I would expect that, those. But I think when you go for a model that's been around a while, things like the BMW X5, things like that. I think there are quite a lot of discounts on luxury car models that have been around a while, and there are a lot of offerings in that segment. So if you're looking for a luxury car, I think this would be a great time to actually step out and get one, because that's where the discounts really are.
Well, absolutely. Renika, it's always a pleasure speaking with you, and I'm sure that we're going to have a lot more conversations down the line. This segment, I'm sure, is going to be one of the most popular segments on the show. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Alex, always.